Well, all the boys dream of becoming superheroes and girls want to be princesses. And today I have in the studio with me two lovely ladies that will tell us how to be a princess. Welcome to Focus Today. I'm Paulina Leiser, and this is Anna Martinez Minter. She's our friend, an author. This is her latest book, Josh Gets a Wash, and she is also a founder of a ministry called Gracious Me Academy. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
And today you have a guest by Skype. We have Doreen with us. Why don't you introduce Doreen, because you know her.
All right. Doreen Hanna wrote a book that landed in my lap years ago, and when I finished reading the book, I was so excited to find out how I could facilitate her and her ministry, and I made a phone call, and we became instant friends, and we have been in affiliation. She is the founder of Becoming a Modern Day Princess, Princess Headquarters, and I probably said that incorrectly. Sorry, Doreen. Could you clarify that for me?
Yes, it's Modern Day Princess Headquarters on Facebook, and that would be probably the best way to refer to us, and moderndayprincess.net on the internet.
All right, so Doreen, Anna, welcome to the program. Why don't we start? You kind of said you met through a book. Raising a Modern Day Princess was the book that you first saw. That's Doreen's book, right?
Correct.
What was it about that book that inspired you and prompted this friendship and partnership?
Well, I had been asking for a call on my life for purpose and passion, and so I had been conducting children's birthday parties, and I had a message of helping the child grow and have some confidence. And so when I read Doreen Hanna's book, I realized that she was addressing the older girls, and I picked up the phone and I said, how can we come together? I have a precursor program to your program. When I'm through with the little girls and they become of age, it leads right into her program, and so we formed a friendship.
So, raising a modern day princess, when you think about a princess, I think spoiled. I think everything is given. I think life with no problems. But what I've seen in your ministry, and probably what Doreen is talking about, is not just that or that at all. It's more about respect and beauty and what else, Doreen? Tell us about what does it mean to be a modern day princess?
I think a modern day princess is a young lady who has learned to understand the value of respect, learning to know what it means to have grace, extending understanding of others who don't live like us. It is truly what royalty looks like according to God's word. And as we look at Christ, who is the King of Kings, does he not set the best example of what royalty truly looks like?
So how do you help in your ministry, Doreen? How do you help young girls become princesses? Because I assume some of them come from broken homes, some of them don't have Christian values instilled in them. So how do you take what you get and turn them into royalty?
I think that the 10-week curriculum that we take them through begins to initially help them to discover the gifts that God's placed within them. When we first start the program, the first session that we have is a personality profile, a simplified one, for the girls to discover what God has placed within them. And I have never seen, or I had never seen, let me just rephrase that, when I first initiated the program, which has been 15 years now, and the 4 girls that went with me through that very first journey, was the excitement of them discovering the gifts God has placed within them, just in their personality and character traits, which obviously character traits are further developed, but it was so exciting to see them see for themselves that God had placed significant personality traits within them. And in that session, we have them hand out 3 cards to give to trusted adults. And in those cards, the 3 trusted adults write down what they love about that young lady. And when they return next week, the following week, and read those cards, they discover that the very things that is in their personality profile oftentimes are the very things that people love about them.
Wow.
So they start their journey off with a great deal of joy and excitement just in that first step.
What I hear in
As we further, go ahead.
Well, you mentioned adult mentoring, I guess. Is that part of this whole curriculum? Is it important for a girl to have that trusted person? And if she doesn't, do you help her find one?
I think so often in women reading the book Raising a Modern Day Princess that was published by Focus on the Family was purposed for moms and daughters to take this journey together. And so that has reached many mom and daughter relationships. However, I formulated a curriculum before the book was ever written to implement the program in a group setting. So oftentimes the group setting has been in youth groups, in homeschool situations, and neighborhood girlfriends, and the one mom or two moms will lead the program. So mentoring truly comes from relationship with other women who have a heart for our teen girls.
Anna, let me ask you a question. You said what you do with the girls is kind of a precursor to what they can then do with the Modern Day Princess with Doreen's program. How do you get young girls to understand the value of respect and different, your books that you write about manners? How do you get girls who've never been taught that at home? What is it about you and your program?
Well, for me, I'll back it up just a little bit. So for 32 years, I've been doing children's entertainment, and across the board, there were children who understood respect, and I would see this with different children. So I thought, well, I'm going to level the playing field, and I started having manners classes. Mm-hmm. And when no one was knocking on my door, I changed the name to Princess School, because in that moment, it's almost what I use when I'm teaching, when I was teaching kindergarten for little boys. You appeal to what it is that will be their inspiration, mm-hmm. and so I just take it from there, and they're open ears, and we'll dress the part and become a princess through the program. And from there, I realized I had an open and captive audience.
So how can people get a hold of your program, especially those in Southern Oregon? Because I know you travel quite a bit. So
I do, and I am speaking with Debbie with the Children's Ministry at Trail Christian Church, and also Edgewater is my home church, and I've been doing programs through Edgewater. So they can find me at graciousmeacademy.com, and they can find a link there to workshops and the books that I'm writing and speaking engagement and group activities.
graciousmeacademy.com.
Correct.
And this book, before I have another question for Doreen, but tell us a little bit about it. This is your latest one,
Yes.
Josh Gets a Wash.
Well, Mabel Sets the Table was the first book, mm-hmm. and it was on dining skills, and everybody was saying that the boys are feeling left out.
So there's one for the boys.
Josh Gets a Wash is on grooming, and it's across the board. It helps. It's just a reminder for all the children how important the grooming
Such
is.
great skills and lessons. I love your books. But both you and Doreen, I have a question for you now. With the work that you do, and I know you're in California, right?
Yes.
Do you see it spreading, and are you doing anything to make it available to people? Like, how can we in Oregon benefit from what you do? Is it a website, or are you planning to come and have affiliates?
Well, we do provide a leader's guide that's available on the website that any woman who has a desire to implement the program can access off the website with, in addition to the Girls Journal. Let me show you both products here just for a moment. This is the Girls Journal that was published by Focus on the Family. And this is the book for moms and dad to understand how to raise a modern day princess, also published by Focus on the Family. What has absolutely astounded me is I used to call it in the early years an American-based, biblically based rite of passage. However, in 2010, a year after the book was out, it began to go international, and it has been implemented in 22 countries across the world. It was a need that I never realized had to be met, not just in America, which is where my heart was, but across nations. And so there are leaders in countries across the world that are carrying it out, providing leadership training, or I do online training from my base at times, which you can find on the website. But they sometimes I do come locally to, if I'm invited to do training, which I did in Johannesburg, South Africa, in Ghana. I've done it in several states in the U.S., and I'd love to come to Oregon.
Right, we'll invite you. So moderndayprincess.net, is that the best website?
That's correct.
Okay, we, in 20 seconds, tell me, is it ever too late to become a princess?
It's never too late. I think one of the things that I was asked so often when women would attend the girls' celebration is moms and other women that would attend would say, do you have something for women? And in 2011, we created a curriculum for women, and now we have women participating in a ceremony where they are receiving a blessing from their 70-year-old dads, their husbands, their sons. This journey for princesses is absolutely amazing.
It sounds like it. Thank you so much, Doreen. Thank you for being with us today. And you too, Anna, thank you for stopping by. Ladies, it's been joy. It's been a joy. And for our listeners and viewers, I want to say that we'll put all this information on our website. So if you want to know the websites and the names of the books and journals that were mentioned, we'll make sure to include it in the link. Thanks so much for being with us. We'll be right back.
Thank you.
I'm Paulina Leiser, producer of Focus Today. Thank you for watching this video, and make sure to check our other videos at theDove.us.